So good morning student, welcome to a new lecture of microwave engineering. So here is the numerical on Z parameter. You have to find Z parameter of a two-port network. This is a two-port network. You can see port 1 is here, port 2 is here, and there are three resistors. So this is a kind of a T network. So two-port network, we have to find Z parameters. Now it is a two-port network. So we know that there will be four Z parameters. This I have told you. So first we will find Z11. So this is the formula for Z parameters, individual element if you want to find. This is the first I is always output and J is always input. So output voltage upon input current, driving current. Okay. And the other current we will make zero, means open circuited. So we have to find Z11. So input and output both are at one port. So it will be V1 upon I1, and I2 we have to make 0. I2 0 means this port is open. We have to make this port open. So when you make this port open and you have current in this port which is I1, so I1 will go like this and it will come back from there. It will not go to ZB. So if you apply Kirchhoff's law here, then V1 over I1 will come ZA plus ZC. So Z11 equal to ZA plus ZC. Now we have to find Z12. So this is 1 is output, 2 is input. So V1 upon I2, and I1 you have to make 0, means this port is open. So when this port is open, no current is going towards ZA. Now you have to find V1 upon I2. Okay, and I2 current is going like this. So V1 upon I2. So if we want to find V1, V1 will be nothing but the voltage appearing across this resistance. So how much voltage will be appearing across this resistance? The voltage here is V2. V2 is getting divided here and here. So applying voltage divider rule. So V2, how much V2 will go here? It will be V2 into ZC upon ZB plus ZC. So this is V2 into ZC upon ZB plus ZC. Then you divide by I2. So this will come. Now V2 over I2 is nothing but, if you apply Kirchhoff's law here, V2 over I2 is nothing but ZB plus ZC. So that will cancel out and you will get the answer ZC. So Z12 is equal to ZC. Now you can see this two-port network is also reciprocal because no active element you can see here. No active element, no plasma, nothing. It is reciprocal. If it is reciprocal, then Zij will be equal to Zji. So here Zij is equal to Zji. So Z12 is equal to Z21 is equal to Zc. Now Z22 you have to find again V2 over I2 and it will come ZB by ZC. Here you can see the network is not symmetric. If it is symmetric, then Z11 and Z22 are also equal. But here this ZA and ZB are not equal resistance. If they are equal, then this network is also symmetric. So Z11 and Z22 will also come equal. Now the most important part, the scattering matrix. This is the most important matrix to study microwave networks. And why do we need it? So we have already discussed the difficulty in defining voltage and current for non-TM line. This we covered in first lecture. One more problem arises in measuring voltage and current at ports at microwave frequencies. So what is that problem? That whatever voltage and current you are getting in Z parameter or Y parameter, that voltage and current is not telling anything about reflected voltage or reflected current, because at microwave frequencies you will have reflected voltage and reflected currents also, but the port voltage is giving total voltages. It is not telling anything about this thing. So now what will happen, the impedance and admittance matrix will only tell about the port of the network. It will tell about the network only at the ports. But if you want to study the whole network or how much reflection the network is producing or the port is producing, for that we will need scattering matrices or S parameter. Okay, so here we'll see how we can make S matrix. You can see this is an N port network, port 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on N. You can see here incident voltages are V1 plus and incident current is I1 plus, similarly in all ports, and V1 minus and minus I1 minus are reflected voltages and reflected currents. The minus sign here is because the direction of current is opposite to the incident current. So if this is the condition, then how you can define your S matrix? You can define your S matrix like this. So here you will have a column matrix of reflected voltages, and then S matrix of n into n order, because we have n ports, and then you will have incident matrix, incident voltage matrix here. So you can say V minus is equal to S into V plus. This is reflected voltage matrix, S matrix, and then incident voltage matrix. If you find the individual element, if you want to find the individual element of S matrix or S parameter, then what is the formula? First concentrate here. The first thing is output. Remember this thing always. First thing is output, second thing is input. Okay, so input voltage upon output reflected voltage. So this is the only voltage ratio for S parameter, and all other voltages, incident voltages, are zero. So if you want to see in words, what does it mean? That this Sij means input voltage at denominator and output reflected voltage at numerator, and all other ports are terminated in match load to avoid any other reflection from any other ports. So if you will not match all other ports, then your answer will not come right. Okay, so you have to match all other ports, means you have to make all incident voltages at all ports zero apart from these two ports. So this is your S parameters. Now the most important thing is this SII, or you can also say S11, S22. What is this thing? This thing is reflection coefficient. This is equal to reflection coefficient TOR. This I have told you in EMFT, but is TOR. TOR is equal to ZL minus Z0 upon ZL plus Z0. TOR. Its value ranges from -1 to +1. It tells how much reflection is present anywhere. Okay. Now how this is SII is equal to TOR? How this is equal? So when you will take SII, you are taking output and input at only one port. So Vi minus upon Vi plus for SII. So, and all other ports are matched. So whatever reflection you are getting at port 1 or 2, it will give that. So that's why it is always equal to, SII is always equal to reflection coefficient, but you have to match the ports. Okay. Now, and the other thing is Sij is the transmission coefficient from port J to port I, because J is input side, I is output side. Okay, then you can see a numerical here so that you can understand what I was talking about. So here you can see it's a two-port network, and now you see these two are equal resistances. So it means the network is symmetric. It means whatever the S11 will be, S22 will be the same. Now we will find S11 V1 minus upon V1 plus, which is equal to V2 0, means we have to apply a match load here. Match load we always take 50 ohm. ZL is equal to 50 ohm. Here you can see equivalent circuit. So this is equal to reflection coefficient. Reflection coefficient in the formula for reflection coefficient is Zn minus Z0 upon Zn plus Z0. So what is Zn? When you will see from port 1, whatever equivalent resistance you are seeing, that is Zn. Z0 is 50. So you can see, if you are seeing from this side, you can see this 8.56 plus 50, and then this is parallel to this, and you have find Zn is equal to 50 ohm. So S11 is equal to 0. Okay. So 8.56 and this whole resistance are in series with this 8.56. So 8.56 and 50 ohm are in series, and then these two are in parallel with this, and this whole equivalent resistance is in series with this. So this is I have found out here, which is equal to 50 ohm. Okay. Similarly, you will find all other parameters. You can see here all other parameters you will find. You will apply voltage divider rule here, so you can find all the other parameters. So this is it. Okay, thank you very much.